Coming up on Eyewitness News, it's another sign of the worst of the pandemic may be behind us. Amateur Night at the Apollo is back, live and in person. What you can expect. Plus, it's an extremely rare diamond going up for auction. Why? It could sell for nearly $50 million. Now, let's take a live look outside. Look at those blue skies. It's warming up, 42 degrees right now. Sam Champion up next with how much warmer it will get in the exclusive AccuWeather forecast.
I'm becoming a woman.
It's my job to do everything in my power to prevent it.
Why's my grandbaby dressed like
you did during the Crusades?
Only on Disney Plus.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Raymore and Flanagan. In stock and delivered in 3 days or less.
Let's get started. Bill, where's your mask?
I really tried sleeping with it, everybody. Now I sleep with Inspire.
No mask?
Just sleep.
Inspire. Learn more at inspiresleep.com.
Hello, I'm Dr. Mary Bassett. If you've been waiting to get a COVID vaccine or you're eligible for a booster, don't wait. COVID infections can happen in vaccinated people, but the risk of severe illness, hospitalization, even death is much higher for people who are not vaccinated. Get vaccinated and boosted, wear a mask, and if you're sick, get tested and stay home. Learn more at ny.gov/vaccines.
Here's something both Democrats and Republicans can agree on. We all like to save money on home improvement projects. During Renewal by Andersen's President's Day window and door special, save 20% on windows, patio doors, and entry doors, and save an additional $250 on your project. And with our financing, you don't pay anything for a year. If you're looking for experience, we're the full-service replacement window division of Andersen, who's been building windows since Teddy Roosevelt was president. Before February 28th, save 20% on windows, save 20% on patio doors, and save 20% on entry doors. Plus, save an additional $250 on your whole project. And with us, you pay nothing for a year. Renewal by Andersen's President's Day window and door special ends February 28th. Call today for a free appointment. 1-800-783-1700.
Marcia has sleep apnea, and her struggles with CPAP had me sleeping in the guest room. Now she's got Inspire.
No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Now I'm back.
And we're back. Inspire. Learn more at inspiresleep.com.
Eyewitness News needs your help to protect our children. Have you seen Yennefer? ABC7 and Ridgewood Savings Bank thank you for helping protect our children.
Happening tonight, Amateur Night at the Apollo is back and will be live for the first time since the start of the pandemic. The talent show, which has been held at the famed Harlem venue since 1934, was virtual the last 2 years. C.P. Lacey returning as the Amateur Night Dream Killer, call him the Executioner. He's been ushering performers who flop off the stage since 1986, and boy, it's hard to watch sometimes. Comedian Capone back as the host of the competition. Some past winners, by the way, just to show you how big a thing this is, include Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday, and the Jackson 5. So it's the real deal. Good to see it back.
Yeah, it is the real deal. Sam, you think you could last on the Apollo stage?
No. I have only been lucky enough to be there one night back in the day. And I'll tell you, it gets raucous. It is loud and wild.
You don't want to get the hook.
Yeah, no, you don't. You don't. So no, I wouldn't last. Here's what's going on. I'm just glad you guys keep me around a little bit. Here's what's going on outside. So you may have noticed a few clouds are stepping in the way right now, and we'll get more as we go through the afternoon hours. And nighttime will be completely cloudy, but we're 42 degrees right now, and that's the selling point of the day. We're not colder than that, and even with a little touch of a wind chill, we're light and variable around the city, but it's been south at about 15 miles per hour around LaGuardia, so in different areas have got a little bit more of a chill, but you're just knocking off a few degrees this time, and it's into the 30s, not into the single digits. digits. So there's the normal temperatures to start right there. Sunset's at 5:32 this evening. Bensonhurst is about 41 degrees. Staten Island's at 43. We're all above that 40-degree mark in the 5 boroughs. 41 toward Islip, a little cooler than that in Montauk, also northern areas of the Hudson Valley. So as we look at the wind chill, you can see how it's different in a lot of locations here. Some places not getting much of a chill at all, like Lakehurst at 41 degrees. Central Park feels like 37. I want to talk about the alerts and advisories that are out and watches that are out right now. This is really for Thursday into Friday. We have a flood watch out north and west of us. This is where we're expecting the bulk of the heavier rain. But if you look along the coastline, there's something else that's already out as well. It's a high wind watch, and this is out until Friday. It's Thursday night all the way through Friday, and I think some places in Long Island will have some gusty winds that exceed that 50 to 60 mile per hour mark. I think we'll also have some coastal flooding, and it'll probably likely be worse on the south-facing shorelines. This as a front goes through with some rain, but I think it's wind that we'll be noticing most. There's our area of high pressure, continues to move east, so we're on the backside of that. It's a nice place to be for this milder air, and it's not sunshine dependent. Even as the clouds pull in and we get to nighttime hours, these temperatures may kind of continue to increase into the upper 40s as we go into the nighttime hours. Then tomorrow we'll have a mixture of more clouds than anything else during the day. We may even start the morning with a little bit of fog and a mist and drizzle out on the eastern end of Long Island. And I can't say that it'll be completely dry all day. There may be some mist or some drizzle that even backs up closer to the city. But it's that front that brings the heavy rain, and that's Thursday night into Friday morning. And right now, it looks like the heaviest rain will stay to the north of us, but we will get some rain moving through, and then the wind will kick up. By the time we get to Saturday, this ends up being a quieter day that is right on target for the temperatures. It's not a bad weekend for us at all. But let's run this from this afternoon, where we've got a few clouds and we're in the 40s for the most part, all the way through Wednesday, all the way into Thursday, all the way to Thursday night. And we'll stop it right around 10 p.m. because this is when we're starting to see the light rain move in to the city, Nassau County, parts of Fairfield County and Connecticut, and some heavier rain coming out of Pennsylvania that will move in overnight. So when you watch that line of rain get out of here by Friday at 8:30 in the morning, how much rain did we get? It is likely it's about a ½ inch of rain through the area, and these gusty winds could be 50 to 60 miles per hour for your Friday drive in out east, and 30 to 40 in western areas. So we're just filling in these clouds, but the temperatures really keep going. We're going to stay in the 40s and probably lift a little bit overnight. 44 might be our low temperature for the morning. We're going to be somewhere near there, and then we'll jump to 60 degrees. Whether we get much sunshine or not, the clouds won't stop us from getting there. Then in comes the front, and that's when we're talking about the tough weather to take. Guys?
Thank you very much, Sam. Still ahead on Eyewitness News at noon, Disney sprinkling some pixie dust in places you may have never expected. We're taking you inside the new communities for Disney fans to call home. Plus, the scam stopped in its tracks. Police on Long Island intercept thousands of dollars headed into the hands of criminals.
You know, our guests really love our beverages.
They like to taste the freshness. You know, what's in there?
Like the clean, clear, beautiful waters of the Pocono Mountains.
We aren't afraid to try new things.
And take chances with our ales and spirits.
The best of the Pocono Mountains in a glass. Try us.
And find us at PoconoBeverageTrail.com.
Unjunk your sleep during Mattress Firm's President's Day sale. Right now, get a king for a queen or a queen for a twin and save up to $500 on our wide selection of top-selling brands. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying Sealy purchase up to a $4.99 value. Or shop Hot Buys and get up to 50% off, like Sealy twin mattresses starting at $224.99 or Sleepy's twin mattresses starting at $159.99. In stock for fast delivery, only at Mattress Firm, the official sleep partner of the New York Knicks.
By the time you meet me, it's too late. I'm Rampage. I'm a coronavirus. And your healthy cells are my guilty pleasure. I'll enter your body and head for your lungs. Then I'll smother you with my Rampage love. Why am I talking to older New Yorkers? You're vulnerable and easy to get. I'll tell you something else. Doctors are my enemy. They know my weakness, like I know yours. So talk to a doctor. But don't wait too long. I'm just around the corner.
My name is Maxine, and I'm a member of NYC Care. I'm undocumented.
She'd gone to an emergency room in another state, and she'd been diagnosed with a pulmonary embolism. Luckily, she called me, and we were able to get her the blood thinner for no cost. Even if you're not eligible for insurance, you can be eligible for NYC Care.
I don't feel cute or pretty in my uniform.
Style cop Clinton Kelly said, whoop, stop right there, is on the makeover case. Next to Rachel.
Today at 2, right here on ABC 7.
7 on your side, catch results.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So when you need help, call, email, or reach out on social media, because Channel 7 is always on your side.
Suffolk County Police helped stop a scam to swindle a Montana man out of thousands of dollars. The 71-year-old told detectives he got a call from a man claiming to be his son. The scammer said he was arrested for DWI after a crash had injured a pregnant woman. Police say someone claiming to be a lawyer then called the man and told him to send $17,000 to an address in Amityville to pay for bail money. Suffolk detectives found out about the scheme and intercepted the cash before it was delivered.
And new details now. One of the passengers who helped stop a man from opening the cockpit door of a flight from Los Angeles to Washington, D.C., now speaking out. Police officer Richard Reynolds happened to be on that flight when another passenger tried to get into the cockpit. Well, the officer says his training kicked in and he jumped into action to stop that man.
I just lunged at him and went to go tackle him because I just really was concerned that that was going to be an issue and take down the whole flight. The door got open. Once we got him handcuffed, he started first aid on him. He had some cuts, and a lot of other people had some blood on them too.
The flight was diverted to Kansas City and went from 30,000 feet in the air to the ground in just 8 minutes. This is another example of the uptick in violence we've seen on flights lately. The FAA now referring 80 cases to the FBI for review.
Well, Channel 7's parent company, Disney, is looking to branch out into the real estate market. The company is launching a new series of neighborhoods called Story Living by Disney, as it hopes to create the magical experience found in parks to home living. ABC's Ginger Z with more.
Disney is sprinkling pixie dust in places that you may never have expected.
And every time we reach a new horizon, we start to dream a little bigger, and we look for new ways to tell our stories.
Announcing Story Living by Disney. Purpose-built communities for Disney fans to call home.
It will have that special Disney touch, attention to detail, and innovation.
Work has already begun on the 618-acre property at Rancho Mirage in California's Coachella Valley, a place Walt Disney called his laughing place, escaping there to unwind and reignite his imagination.
Story is at the heart of everything we do, and we love bringing authentic places to life to immerse you in those stories.
Called Cotino, it will include private homes, a hotel, entertainment, and dining, all surrounding a crystalline turquoise lagoon.
And that was Ginger Z reporting. Disney says it has plans to expand the project nationwide. Still ahead on Eyewitness News, a psychological study that shaped a generation. How the doll test launched in the 1940s impacted race relations in the U.S. and how its impacts are still being felt today. A supermodel's botched cosmetic procedure leaves her with permanent injuries, and now she's opening up about her struggle. And inflation remains high, and it's hitting two groups of the population especially hard, with no sign of slowing down anytime soon. We'll have those stories and more when Eyewitness News returns on all our platforms, including Hulu Live TV.
People have been wondering, what's happening to Lindsay? But it's really what Lindsay's gotten into, Planet Fitness. And now through February 16th, you can join for zero enrollment.
Zero enrollment?
And only $10 a month.
That's $10 a month?
Cancel anytime.
That makes me so happy.
Want more happy? Enjoy tons of equipment in our clean and spacious clubs. Even blow off steam in our judgment-free zone. Get glowing and feel fit-tacular. For zero enrollment, $10 a month, cancel anytime. But hurry, deal ends Wednesday, February 16th.
I'm a nurse practitioner, so I thought, look, we've been getting vaccinated from childhood. So if it takes getting vaccinated to say, okay, we could put COVID behind us, I'm all for it. I want my family to be safe. Hi. Being Haitian myself, it's important for me to let my community know that there's no conspiracy theory. The vaccines are safe. It's not going to harm you. There's probably a lot of misinformation and a lot of mistrust and people just not educating themselves on the vaccine and the risk that they're taking by not getting vaccinated. I got the vaccine, I'm fine, nothing happened to me.
Getting the vaccine was the right thing for me and my family.
For more information, visit nyc.gov/vaccinefinder or call 877-VAX-4-NYC.
Huntington was that breath of fresh air to help my kids learn to love learning again.
Because of Huntington, now I feel more confident. Huntington really helped me with my reading and writing.
Huntington's helped me take my tests more efficiently. It's taken away a lot of my stress.
Because of Huntington, I love learning.
I love being at Huntington. My tutors really care about me as a person.
The time is now. Call 1-800-CAN-LEARN for tutoring and test prep. Huntington Learning Center. Available in-center and online.
Now, New York's #1 news. Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Our top stories this afternoon. Governor Hochul directing a state of emergency response for Rockville Center, Long Island, after a tanker truck carrying fuel crashed and burst into flames. It also resulted in toxic fuel pouring into the sewers. The tanker driver lost control on Sunrise Highway, overturned, and crashed into a building early this morning. More than 500 homes and businesses are now without power. The cause of the crash still under investigation.
Police are searching for the gunman who shot and killed a man on a Long Island Railroad train at the Ronkonkoma station early this morning. Witnesses say the suspected shooter ran away from the scene. Investigators believe the victim and the suspect were traveling together. The motive for the murder, unclear.
And minutes from now, FDNY Commissioner Daniel Nigro will leave FDNY headquarters in Brooklyn for the last time as the head of the department. And you can see him leaving right now. This is a live picture after 53 years with the fire department. Mayor Adams has not named his replacement yet. At 73 years old, he has decided it is time to retire. First Deputy Commissioner Laura Kavanaugh is expected to serve as acting commissioner. And remember, he was appointed commissioner in 2014 and is the 4th longest serving commissioner in the department's history. A lot has happened under his reign, and you can see he is accompanied by family right now, a time where he has been worked very hard to deal with some of the biggest fire emergencies in the city. And he's uniquely one of, I think, only 6 people who have ever served in every rank within the fire department. He led the department to these September 11th terror attacks, taking over as the chief of department for his longtime friend, Chief Peter Gansey, who was killed in the collapse. And it was an auspicious beginning to that role that he had. He was appointed in 2014 after retiring for the first time in 2002, as you see him recognizing and being saluted as he now announces his retirement. Daniel Nigro, retired after 53 years. And hello again. I'm David Navarro. I'm Sandra Bookman, and today for Shirley and Alicott. New details on the deaths of 2 black women in Connecticut. Families are speaking out against the Bridgeport Police Department's handling of the cases. The families of Lauren Smith Fields and Brenda Lee Rawls spoke out at a public hearing last night. They say the investigations into the deaths of their loved ones were incomplete and they were mistreated by the police department.
I want to know why my family, none of us were ever spoken to, questioned.
If Lauren was a Caucasian, white, blonde-haired girl, y'all would have scoured the earth to find out what happened to her.
The department announced that it has appointed a new lieutenant in charge of internal affairs. Right now, internal affairs is looking into more than a dozen citizen complaints, investigations, and inquiries. New York Congressman Tom Suozzi announced today his historic choice for his lieutenant governor as he seeks to become governor. Former Brooklyn Councilwoman Diana Reina will be Suozzi's running mate in the Democratic primary. Reina also served as deputy Brooklyn Borough president. If elected, she would become the first Latina elected to statewide office in New York.
Swazi and Reina say their priorities for the state include combating ongoing crime, lowering taxes, and focusing on schools.
Alec Baldwin and the other producers of the movie Rust are being sued by the family of the cinematographer who was killed on set last year. Elena Hutchins was fatally shot last October during a rehearsal for a scene for the film in New Mexico. It happened when a prop gun that Baldwin was holding went off. Attorneys say Baldwin and the crew failed to follow protocols and recklessly caused Hutchins' death. Her family says a settlement could be on the table.
A settlement's always possible, right? One of the things I said to him is, would you settle? He said, look, most of these cases end in settlement, but he also followed up by saying that they want to move forward, they want to get the facts, but it is also this sort of antagonism between the family and Alec Baldwin now.
Hutchins' family attorney says they expect to be in trial in 2 years, but a potential criminal case could push back that date.
New details now on Prince Andrew's settlement with Virginia Giuffre. British newspapers are suggesting Prince Andrew will pay between $13 and $16 million in the settlement. One report suggested the Queen will help him pay. The money would be in the form of a donation to Giuffre's charity. Giuffre said she was sexually trafficked to the British royal by Jeffrey Epstein when she was 17. The prince has denied the allegations. The royal family tweeted out a new photo of Queen Elizabeth, hoping to dispel concerns about her health after a recent COVID exposure. It shows her receiving Rear Admiral James McLeod and his replacement as the Defense Services Secretary at Windsor Castle. The 95-year-old monarch also carried out her first engagement since her son Prince Charles and his wife Camilla tested positive for COVID last week. She had met Estonia's ambassador through a video link yesterday.
Supermodel Linda Evangelista was once one of the most recognizable faces in pop culture. Well, now she is opening up about the side effect of a cosmetic procedure that she says forced her to step away from the spotlight and left her permanently injured. Here's ABC's Janae Norman.
She was one of the world's most photographed faces, part of fashion's original supermodels, appearing everywhere in the 90s, including this iconic George Michael video. But the Linda Evangelista of today says she's a far cry from her former self.
Do you see the angle of my arms?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can't put them next to my body because this bulge is making them veer off in an angle. Versace want to dress me with that sticking out of my body.
Evangelista telling people about the cosmetic procedure she says left her deformed.
Linda began speaking about herself in the third person, and she really feels that person that we all saw on the covers of magazines and in music videos is actually gone. She doesn't even like to look in the mirror.
My son used to say, before I told him the truth, he used to make comments frequently like, "Mommy, do you remember when you used to be fun? Mommy, remember when you used to laugh all the time? How come you don't laugh anymore?" So I hate what this has done to my relationship with him.
Beginning in 2015, Evangelista underwent several rounds of cool sculpting.
It was going to contour areas of the body that as I age, I have some fat deposits, and I understood cool sculpting would take care of that. And it was supposed to be non-invasive, not painful, no surgery. And that expression, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
The procedures, she says, led her to develop a condition called PAH, short for paradoxical adipose hyperplasia.
There's a really rare complication called paradoxical adipose hyperplasia. The tissue that's been treated that does qualify as PAH is certainly harder. It's like a firm mass, and it can occur usually, anytime after 6 months or even sooner after the treatment.
Evangelista since filing a $50 million lawsuit against the makers of Cool Sculpting and their parent company, adding she suffered disfigurement, pain, and severe emotional distress, in addition to economic losses as it rendered her unemployable. In an email statement, a representative saying Allergan Aesthetics does not comment on ongoing litigation. Cool Sculpting has been well studied with more than 100 scientific publications and more than 11 million treatments performed worldwide.
Janae Norman, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
It is time for the afternoon AccuWeather forecast. Here's Sam.
If you've got, if you're near a window, you can notice that kind of filtering of the sunshine that's going on right now as we move a few clouds in. This is showing you the blue and the yellow, the heavier, higher cloud tops that are back off to the west of us right now. So we are going to start clouding up over the next couple of hours, and the hour-by-hour forecast panel show you exactly that. So we'll stay at about 44 degrees this afternoon. Remember, it's not going to take the sunshine to keep this warm air flowing. So if you have plans later on this afternoon, we'll be at 44, 45, on our way to 46. And that's probably 46 to 48 degrees around the area is the warmest we'll get to. And then tomorrow, we'll keep that warm air flowing, and we'll kind of jump to about 62 degrees, bring some rain in the nighttime hours of tomorrow for the overnight. But for the rest of the afternoon, it's dry. We just don't go too far, too much further with the temperature. Guys, full forecast coming up.
All right, Sam, thanks a lot. Next on Eyewitness News, it's one of the most valuable gems in the world. Now it's on the auction block. How much this rare blue diamond is expected to fetch. And Alaska Airlines launching the first ever flight subscription service in the U.S. where you can fly it, how often, and most importantly, how much it will cost you.
If you have psoriasis, it's time to see the possibilities with Taltz. Up to 90% of those with moderate to severe psoriasis saw a significant improvement. Some even saw 100% clear skin. Don't use if you're allergic to Taltz. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. Increased risk of infections and lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about infections, symptoms, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop, worsen, or if you had a vaccine or plan to. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Ask your doctor about Taltz.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we believe every heart is at the heart of our island. And now, our unrivaled cardiac care and patient experience are available at more Catholic health hospitals and practices across Long Island. So wherever you are, your heart is always in the right place at St. Francis Heart Center.
Hi, I'm Dr. Taurine Easterling, First Deputy Commissioner and Chief Equity Officer at the New York City Health Department. I know some of you may still have questions about the COVID-19 vaccines. You may be asking, if some people who are vaccinated have gotten COVID, do the vaccines actually work? And I want to be clear. The COVID-19 vaccines, like other vaccines, are meant to reduce the risk of infection and protect you from getting very sick. During this most recent Omicron surge, we saw that this was true. Unvaccinated adult New Yorkers were 8 times more likely to be hospitalized compared to those that were vaccinated. And the same was true for our youngest. More unvaccinated children were hospitalized than vaccinated children. Being up to date with your COVID-19 vaccines, including a booster, is the best way to make sure we are all doing what we can to protect ourselves, our families, and our neighbors. And that goes for our children too. Currently, children 5 and older are eligible for the COVID-19 vaccines, which will give them and their loved ones an additional layer of protection. So, parents, if you haven't already done so, please get your children vaccinated. For more information about COVID-19 vaccines, visit nyc.gov/COVID vaccine or call 877-VAX4NYC. Thank you.
A disturbing attack in East Harlem. Police say a young mother was assaulted in front of her children. She was getting out of her car on Park Avenue around 7 o'clock last Friday when the NYPD says 3 men approached and hit her on the head with a gun. They then started to bash her car with bats while her 2 children were inside. That woman was able to drive off and get them to a safe location. If you recognize any of these men, you are asked to get in touch with police.
Inflation continues to remain high, and it's hitting some Americans particularly hard. Millennials and Latinos are facing the steepest jump in living costs. According to Moody's Analytics, across America, families are spending $276 more per month on average because of inflation. Oil prices are now at over $90 per barrel, and experts say that if that price rises to more than $110 per barrel, inflation will hit its highest point the country has seen since 1981. Alaska Airlines is is launching the first ever flight subscription service in the United States. The new Flight Pass offers travelers a fixed number of round-trip flights to cities on the West Coast for a monthly fee. Annual plans start at $49 per month and require bookings at least 14 days before travel. Flyers are still required to pay government taxes and airport fees on each flight when they apply.
Still to come, it was a simple test with huge impacts on race relations in the U.S. It was called the Doll Test. Coming up, how it's being used again to learn more about child development. And taking a live look outside this afternoon, the AccuWeather forecast. Next.
I promised myself the weather wouldn't cancel my plans.
We promised ourselves we would make a smart financial decision.
I promised to make my health and well-being my top priority.
At Cedar Crest, we understand the power of a promise. Here, you'll enjoy peace of mind.